Hello and welcome. My name is Ellen Saltonstall, and I'm going to be showing you how to use rubber balls to relieve tension in your mid-back, your lower back, and your buttocks. This is a common problem. Many people have recurring pain, sometimes constant pain in the lower back, and it's really a wonderful way to get rid of that pain, help yourself feel more mobile and fully alive, just in this simple technique of using rubber balls to massage your tight muscles. So, the balls we use are comparable in size to a tennis ball. I'm holding up a purple tennis ball, and then these two balls, which are solid rubber. You can also use a slightly larger size that's hollow if you want a little bit less intense pressure. And then we have the baseball size, and this is my favorite. It's about 3 inches in diameter, and it has some give to it, but it's strong enough it's solid enough to really give you some good massage. So I recommend that you have a small pillow or pad or folded blanket handy in case you feel too much intensity from the balls. You can raise your hips up onto a pad to lessen the pressure. So place yourself at the bottom end of your mat because you're going to progress up, and it's just good to start at this one end, and lie back down onto your back and take a moment to really just feel your body and your breath. So notice you can move your lower back a little bit on the floor. Notice if you have sore spots, places that feel tight or hard to move. So we're going to begin with the balls below the shoulder blades, which is the end of another technique in another video, the trapezius technique. So my preference is to start with the trapezius and then continue right along down the whole back. But I made this a separate video in case people don't have time to do the whole thing. You can do just part of it. So you're going to place the balls underneath the ribs, one on each side of the spine, roughly close to the bottom of your shoulder blades. So this will arch your chest up quite a bit. And if it's very sensitive, right away you think, oh my goodness, this feels awful. Then you put some padding under your hips, and it will make the pressure much less so that you can tolerate it and stay here. So with this technique, there's 2 basic steps. One is to settle and give yourself time to feel the position of the balls and the position of your body. And the other is to move slowly. So now I'm going to start to move my ribs to the right a little bit, just an inch or 2, and then slowly return to center. And then slowly move to the left, and slowly return to center. And again, slowly move to the right, and back to center, and slowly move to the left, and back to center. So I'm going to remove the pad, but for you, if you have a pad under you and you like it the way it feels, you can leave it there. Now move to the next spot by rolling your body in the direction of your head. So the balls are about maybe 2 inches lower than they were before. And take a deep breath and settle yourself into this new spot. And then slowly move to the right and back to center. Slowly move to the left and back to center. And again, slowly move to the right. I'm trying to move just the part of the body that's on the balls, trying to keep the rest of the body relatively relaxed and still. So we isolate one part of the body in the movement. And this has many good effects. The main one being that it makes you more aware of how you can move that part of your body. Because often, tension develops from our posture or our activities, and that part of the body becomes rigid for whatever reason. It becomes immobile, and then along with that immobility comes the risk of pain. Now move to another spot. So now you're getting to the bottom of the rib cage. So you'll probably feel a little less pressure because the ribs are more mobile at the bottom. They don't attach around to the front at all, so they move with the pressure of the ball. And then again, move your ribs and spine to the right as much as you can, locally moving where the balls are on your back. And back to center, and move to the left. And back to center, and one more time, to the right. And back to center, and to the left, and back to center. Now if you move down again, you'll probably be off the rib cage and onto the area of your lower back between the ribs and the pelvis. So the muscles that you've been working on further up include many layers: latissimus dorsi, erector spinae, and the smaller muscles right next to your spine. Now you're getting in touch with a larger, thicker muscle called quadratus lumborum, which is a very common source of tension and pain. So again, move your waistline now to the right, and back to center, and then to the left, and back to center. Now, if you want more pressure than what you're getting from this, just having the balls there, you can lift your feet up on a cushion or a bolster or a couple of blocks. And when the feet go up and the hips are flexed more, it'll bring more weight into the balls. So for some of you who like deep pressure, this is the way to adapt and increase the pressure. Now let's move down to another spot. So now you're maybe right at the waistline, and you stop for a moment and just breathe and feel it. And then move your waistline to the right, slowly back to center, and to the left, slowly, and back to center. And do that again, slowly to the right, back to center, and slowly to the left, and back to center. So now that you're getting closer to the pelvis, these movements will involve your hips and pelvis, and that's fine. So one more spot now before we go actually onto the pelvis. So you can adjust the balls with your hands if you want, so that they're right above the pelvic bones, one on each side of the spine. This lumbar area is the location of pain for many, many people. It's an area that has to moderate the body weight every time we bend forward. Something simple like sitting down in your chair or putting on your shoes. All of these things demand some movement here in this part of the back. It has a lot of muscular and fascial support, so it's strong. But sometimes it gets tight in uneven ways, like one side is way tighter than the other, or it doesn't get the opportunity to move in as much complete range of motion as it could, so it's often very stiff. Now when you move off to the side here, you will definitely be moving your hips in the opposite direction. That's fine. So the waistline goes to one side and the hips will go off to the other side. You just go slowly out to one side and back to center, out to the other side, and back to center. Now let's say one side of your back is a lot tighter. You can actually roll further onto that side. I'm doing that now so that the weight of my body is almost completely on the left ball and the right ball doesn't have any weight on it at all. And you can do that for the tighter side and just stay there a little extra time possibly doing another slow movement across those muscles that go up and down your spine. And then come back to center, and we'll do one spot on the buttocks to end this series. And if you want to do more work on the buttocks, there's another video for that. So move the balls down with your hands so that each one is in the center of one of your buttocks. And just take some breaths and feel what that's like. And then begin to move. Now that you're in the hips, you can move many different ways. You can start by moving side to side, which is the easiest probably. But then explore other kinds of movement with your pelvis. A pelvic tilt, which will press your waist onto the floor, alternating with the sitting bones pressing down, or some kind of diagonal movement. So explore all the different ways your pelvis can move over the balls, but keep it as slow as you can, so that your body has time to absorb the effects of the pressure. You're working on both the fascia, which is the connective tissue, and the muscles. And the fascia takes a little more time to respond to the pressure of the balls. So you can continue like this for a longer time, but I'm going to finish the instructions now. And as I said, there'll be another video available to work on the buttocks for a longer time and move the balls to different spots. So you can remove the balls now and take a few breaths with your body on the floor. And then roll to one side and come up. Thank you for joining me.